Sule zonyembe zimtakwethu, sule zonyembe zimtakwethu, sule zonyembe zimtakwethu nangesiza. Sule zonyembe zimtakwethu, sule zonyembe zimtakwethu, sule zonyembe zimtakwethu nangesiza. Phezulu wenkosini kuhleli ngcwele zodwa, uma unayi ufuna uyaphathandaza. Phezulu wenkosini kuhleli ngcwele zodwa, uma unayi ufuna uyaphathandaza. Uloliwe, loliwe, wedudula, uloliwe wahidudula, uloliwe wahidudula, nangwesiza. Uloliwe, loliwe, wedudula, uloliwe wahidudula, uloliwe wahidudula, nangwesiza. Sure, many of you have heard the heartbreaking news of the passing of Bulelwa. Mkutukana. I apologize if I'm messing up her surname. Bulelwa, popularly known as Zahara. So, according to some of the media reports, Zahara is an Arabic word for a blooming flower, of which she wasn't just a blooming flower, but she was a flower of the nation of South Africa, becoming one of the greatest musicians we've ever had in the country. One of the greatest musicians we've probably had on the African continent. Known as Uspinash when she was younger, she hails from an informal settlement. I think it's called the Pumlani in the Eastern Cape, just outside of East London. The sixth out of 7 children. She, very popular guitarist, very good guitarist, and she used to busk. So busking is when you play in the streets and you put like a hat for people to put money in, and she became a sensation. I think at some point, Oskid of Kalawa Jasmine said he could have signed her, but eventually it was TS Records. TK Ngiza, who is now an ANC chairperson, I believe, in Eguruleni, if I'm not mistaken, and DJ Spoo, who I've worked with and who's become a great mentor and a brother. TS Records signed her. They moved her into the Ngiza household, where Unhlanhla Ngiza also became one of her mentors. Unhlanhla Ngiza becoming one of the duo of Mafikizolo. Mafikizolo used to be 3 members. They lost one, then it became Unhlanhla Ngiza and Theo as well. And they took her in and she became a sensational star. I think within 24 hours, her first album, Loliwe, sold out. And within 20 days, she'd sold over 100,000 copies, going double platinum. Rumors at that time were that she'd sold over 400,000 copies of her album at a time when the music stores, Abo Musica, was struggling. And we'd been told that music was not selling anymore. And a classic album, one of the best classics we've ever had come off this continent, was born with Loliwe by Zahara, a blooming flower. Rumor goes that DJ Spoo gave her that name. Later on, she'd go and perform privately for ex-president and icon Nelson Mandela in his home. And even releasing an EP in honor of his name, Nelson Mandela. Beautiful, beautiful song. And a beautiful journey, an amazing, amazing success. It would then later on be very, very sad when she would have fights after she had left TS Records, accusing DJ Spoo, TK Ngiza, and many other stakeholders of stealing her money. That when she was performing, she was being underpaid for her gigs, and that they were making money from royalties of music that she had written, where Loliwe was her song, she said. And it became very sad, and over the years, she would struggle with relationships, she would struggle with alcohol abuse, and she would go on platforms, bearing her soul and crying to the pain of losing her money and her way. But she remained strong, she remained musical, she carried on releasing music, and she was loved. I remember having an interview on Somizi's cooking show as well, which was pretty great. Last year, after working with DJ Spoo, I'd spoken to Spoo in confidence about the issues with Zahara, and he'd said, look, he'd spoken on platforms, and even if you go on social media now, you can go and find the video where he's sitting, I think across Stilo Makolide, South African rapper, speaking about the issues that happened at TS Records, along with, may rest in peace, Lindani Mkhize, Pro Kid, along with Brown Dash. And then now we've got Zahara as well. And DJ Spoo explaining years ago what had happened in that fight and how he'd been wanting to reconcile with Bulelwa, Zahara, and to this day, there was none of that. And when the story broke out last night from the SAPC, who then removed the post, and at the time I realized that they probably removed the post because they had not gotten consent from the family. Minister of Arts and Culture, Zizi Kodwa, then went on to confirm, saying that he'd been with the family to confirm the news, and now it's been officially released that Zahara has passed on. She'd been struggling with liver failures. Even back then when DJSB was speaking about it, she'd been struggling with liver complications as well. A very sad story. I really think a story that we could learn from. I reached out to Zahara via Instagram DM. She unfortunately never responded back, stating that, I work with DJ Sbu and it would be so great because so many of us love her. So many of us would like to see some kind of reconciliation. And if there was any foul play from TS Records, they need to account. And we see how we can heal these things because we struggle with so many issues in the world. And it's like where we can help, let us see where we can help. Unfortunately, that never came to be. And life moves on. And DJ Sbu is getting attacked on social media, which is sad for me as a brother and a friend. I was not there during the TS Records time. I am there now in DJ Sbu's life. And I was hoping that I could try and resolve and it wouldn't come to be. But we have lost a beautiful flower of the nation, Zahara. I remember when the news of her sales went out, I was like, I want to be part of history. And I remember going to buy her album. Stunning album. Ndiza, I think, was my favorite song. Ndikuphathe inhliziyo yami uzuyenze msulwa yona. Oh ndiza ubuya ndikuphathe inhliziyo yami uzuyenze msulwa yona. And then Lengoma, which I think was a breakthrough. It was a DJ Sbu house track featuring Zahara on the vocals. We've lost her. I remember we lost a stunning icon back in the day, Brenda Fassie, of which Zahara can be put in that category when you look at the sales and the success of Brenda Fassie. I think last year around this time we lost Shimora, Big Nas, Mampincha, as well to illness. We have been losing so many talents. To death, we lost AKA earlier this year, Kenan Forbes, along with Tibbs Mutswane in that same shooting. We've lost Robbie Malinga. And the sad thing is, in so many of these stories, there is so much sadness in these stories. People dying poor, people not managing their finances, a lot of beef that has not been resolved with existing people. Some of them leave children behind. Some of them leave loved ones behind, and it just becomes a really sad story. But I think outside of the proceedings we're going to be hearing about, this is definitely a time to celebrate the life of Zahara. This is definitely the time to speak about her struggles as well, very frankly, so that children can learn about the dangers of alcohol abuse, substance abuse, so that artists can be awake and be like, hey, I don't want to struggle with money, and am I being conned somewhere? Am I being scammed? Should I be looking at my contract? Should I be getting help? We've heard of so many sad stories from Ambitious, MT, Fifi Cooper, Black Diamond, Amanda Black. We can't keep having these stories over and over and over again if we're not having these conversations, and this becomes a time for that. But let's play Loliwe, let's play Undiza, let's play Pendula, let's play Lengoma, let's celebrate the beauty of Zahara. And where possible, let us try and protect people like DJ Sbu and TK Nciza, who have added so much value to the world. They gave us so many stars. They invested so much in people. Zahara herself became a star under the hands of TS Records. So we have to thank them. We have to thank them and we have to protect them. This is not a time to bash and further destroy each other, where there can be resolutions and solutions and learnings. And allow DJ Sbu himself, who was a big brother to Zahara, to also mourn, because he's lost someone as well in his life. TK Nciza as well, Nhlanhla Nciza. And then to the family of Zahara as well, we send our deepest sympathies and condolences. This is probably not an easy time. I remember Zahara speaking on Somizi's show about the struggles she's had with her own family and how they've said fight and don't fight and Siswami, you must heal. And so many people showing love to Zahara on social media. Loliwe, ulale ngoxolo siswethu Zahara, ulale ngoxolo Bulelwa. You were a huge blessing and inspiration in our life, showing the beauty of people like India Ari, showing the beauty of conscious sisters that were beautiful in their Africanness, wearing natural hair, loving your Xhosa heritage beautifully, speaking Xhosa wherever you could, and not being ashamed of who you are and where you're from. And some of the people I spoke to that had met you spoke about it. Everywhere you went, you would sing. You were sharing your gift freely. You didn't have to be paid at a gig to sing. You would get into any space and sing. I'm sad that I never got to meet you, but I'm honored that I got to enjoy the beauty of your talent and your gift. And I hope so many other young people will use opportunities to share their gifts and to be like, I will also be a blooming flower like Zahara out there. We love you. We hope that you rest in peace. And to many, many other people out there, let's use this time to introspect, to heal, to learn, to celebrate the beauty of the life and the times of Zahara. Rest in peace, Iswami, and I hope everything will go well as we lay you to rest. Penuel the Black Pen, have a great and blessed day, and remember to cherish those that you have in your life, because you never know when their candle will be blown out. Cheers.